From winning the inaugural edition back in 2007 to making it to the Super 8s and semi-finals in various editions, India has consistently ranked number 1 in the ICC team rankings through the years. Yet, for some or the other reason, the team has had a hard time lifting the trophy since the 2007 T20 World Cup. Let us walk down memory lane to see where India finished in all the T20 World Cups to date. T20 World Cup 2007 champions. The inaugural edition was MS Dhoni's first stint at captaincy, leading a relatively young team in the tournament. The new captain and fresh-looking team started by beating their arch-rivals Pakistan in a bowl-out by 3-0. While the men in blue lost to New Zealand in the opening match of the Super 8, they beat England, South Africa and Australia to make it to the finals. And they lifted their maiden T20 World Cup trophy, beating Pakistan in the finals by 5 runs. T20 World Cup 2009 Super 8. The reigning champions had a rather poor run in the second edition of the T20 World Cup. India won only 2 matches in the entire tournament, which came against Ireland and Bangladesh in the group stages. Making it to the Super 8 stage, India crashed out of the tournament, following their consecutive losses against West Indies, England and South Africa. T20 World Cup 2010 Super 8. India performed in a similar fashion in the third edition too. Winning the group stage matches against Afghanistan and South Africa, the men in blue made it to the Super 8. However, they were again handed 3 consecutive defeats by Australia, West Indies and Sri Lanka. T20 World Cup 2012 Super 8. The fourth edition was a roller coaster ride for the Indian side. India pushed its way through the group stage, beating Afghanistan and England. It was the third time in a row that India was restricted to the Super 8 stage. After the loss against Australia by 9 wickets, India recovered by beating Pakistan by 8. And although India won the match against South Africa by 1 run, they could not qualify for the semis due to their poor run rate. T20 World Cup 2014 runners-up. India's performance in the 2014 T20 World Cup was promising. The men in blue cruised through the entire tournament without losing a single match. While India made its way to the finals, beating big sides like Pakistan, Australia and South Africa by decent margins, the Sri Lankan side led by Lasith Malinga beat the men in blue by 6 wickets to lift their maiden T20 World Cup trophy. T20 World Cup 2016 semi-finals. India hosted the 6th edition of the T20 World Cup. It was MS Dhoni's last appearance in T20 World Cups. Team India made it to the semis, beating Pakistan, Bangladesh and Australia. West Indies handed the men in blue their second tournament defeat by knocking them out at the semi-finals. West Indies won the game by 7 wickets. T20 World Cup 2021 Super 12. Pakistan caught the men in blue off guard to register their first T20 World Cup victory against their arch-rivals. This was the first edition of the T20 World Cup since 2007 where MS Dhoni was not leading the Indian side. New Zealand again crushed India's hopes for proceeding in the World Cup tournament, defeating them by 8 wickets. Although India won the following 3 matches against Afghanistan, Scotland and Namibia, they did not qualify for the semi-finals owing to their early losses. While India is putting up outstanding performances in bilateral series, they are not able to make it count on the T20 World Cup platform. With so many editions out of the way, the Indian fans are desperately waiting for the day the men in blue bring the trophy home once again. As billions pin their hope on the Indian team led by the hitman Rohit Sharma, the 2022 T20 World Cup might just be the edition where all our prayers are answered.